Okay, now I'm ready to start. We're going to start on number 9. We've done the other 8, and I'll try to do all this in one set. Number 9 is substitution. On substitution, we need a number by itself, a letter by itself. The letter that's by itself is this y right here, and that y is equal to 4v minus 21. And what we're going to do is, this y is the same as that y, but the 4v minus 21 is the same as y. So we're going to take the box, 4v minus 21, and put it in place of the second y in the second equation. I'm going to rewrite the second equation, negative 4x minus 4. Everything's the same. When I get to the y, that's the one that's by itself, right here. So I'm going to take that one out. I put a parenthesis there, and then I continue the problem. It's equal to a negative 16. Now what goes inside where the y was? Whatever's in the box. The 4v minus 21 replaces the y because they're the same right here. They're the same thing. The y is gone, 4v minus 21 takes its place, and now I simply solve this equation. I must get rid of the parentheses. The 4vx stays. Then I have this negative 4 here, which I multiply by everything inside the parenthesis. So I multiply a negative 4 times 4v. That's a negative 16v. Then I take the negative 4 in front and multiply it by the negative 21. A negative times a negative is a positive, and 4 times 21 is 84. And that's equal to a negative 16. Okay, we have a problem with our letters here. I'm not sure what happened. This is supposed to be an x. That's an x, not a v. So that's an x. And that is an x. Sorry about that. Had somebody copy them over and they got v in there someplace. All right. So they're x's and y's. So now I'm on the bottom row here. This one, right here. And I need to combine the x's. I have a negative 4 and a negative 16x. A negative 4 and a negative 16. The signs are the same. So I add the numbers and keep the sign. 4 and 16 is 20x, and I keep the negative. Then I have a positive 84 here. I want to move it to the other side. So I subtract 84, and I subtract 84. Those 84s cancel. A negative 20x equals a negative 84 and a negative 16. These two right here. Same sign, so I add them and keep the sign. 84 and 16 is 100, and I'm going to keep the negative. Now I have a negative 20x, so I have to divide by a negative 20 on both sides. The double negatives here cancel. The 20s cancel. On the right side, the negative in front of the 100 and the negative in front of the 20, they cancel. Negative over negative cancels. And x is equal to 100 divided by 20, which is 5. That's my first answer. Then I go and take the 5, and I go up here. Here. And I replace the x with 5. So I have here 4 times x, which is 5, minus 21. 4 times 5 is 20, minus 21. So 20 minus 21 is a negative 1, and that is equal to y. Way over here. This goes all the way back to there. So what's my answer? Parentheses, comma. First is the x number, and y is the second number. The first of the x is 5, and negative 1. And that's problem number 9. Okay, now we have number 10, and again it's substitution. And again, we're looking for a letter by itself. The letter by itself is again the y here, and y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. And this y is the same as this one, but the negative 2x plus 4 in the box is also equal to y, so it's going where the y is. It's replacing the y. I go to the second equation. It is 8x plus 8, exactly the same, when I get to the y, the letter by itself up here, I change it to a parenthesis, and I finish the problem, equals 8. Then I'm replacing this y with the box, so the negative 2x plus 4 is substituted for the y. I'm replacing them. And then again, I simply solve. The 8x at the beginning stays, and then I take the 8 in front of the parentheses. 8 times a negative 2x is a negative 16x, and 8 times 4 is a positive 32. That's equal to 8. Take 8x minus 16x, signs are different, so I subtract the numbers, that gives me 8x, and I keep the sign of the bigger number, which is 16, the sign is negative, so it's negative 8x. I need the 32 to go to the other side, so I'm going to subtract 32 here, and subtract 32 there. The 32's cancel, so negative 8x equals a negative, because the bigger one is negative, I'm keeping the sign of the bigger number, and I subtract the numbers, and I get 24. Then I divide by negative 8. The negatives in front of the 8 cancels. The 8's themselves cancel. The negatives in the fraction in front of 24 and 8, they cancel. Negative over negative always cancels. And x ends up being equal to 24 divided by 8 is 3. And that's not the right answer. What did we do wrong? 32, 16, 8, 8. Okay, the 3 is right. I was looking at the wrong answer on the sheet. Looking at the wrong problem. All right, x is 3. Now we take and go up here, go to the box, and replace the x, that x, with 3. So it's negative 2 times x, which is 3, plus 4 is negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, plus 4 is negative 2. So y equals negative 2. This is the y. All that on top. Give me y. So what is my answer now? Parentheses, comma. The x value is 3. It always goes first. X is first. Y is second. That's negative 2. And you have your answer. That's problem number 10. Problem number 11 is here. Now, it's still substitution. But on substitution here, I have to get a letter by itself because I don't have one. Well, the letter I want to get it by itself is, I want this y by itself. I want the letter that has a 1 in front of it. The only letter with a 1 in front is this y. So I'm going to take the negative 2x in front, I'm going to add 2x, so they're going to cancel, and I'm going to add 2x over on this side. The 2x's cancel, and I now have y equals 3 plus 2x. And now it looks just like the last problem. I am going to take what's in the box and put it in place of the y, right there. So I have a negative 7x plus 4. I'm copying everything down. When I get to the y, I change it to a parenthesis, and I copy the rest of the problem down. Equals 13. I'm replacing y with what it's equal to, which is what's in the box, 3 plus 2x. And now I'm going to distribute. I'm going to get rid of the parentheses. The negative 7 stays. I take 4 times 3. That's a positive 12. Then I take 4 times 2. That's a positive 8x. That's equal to 13. I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to combine the 8x minus 7x. 8 minus 7 is 1x, or x. I'm going to take the 12, move it to the other side. So it's a negative 12 here, and a negative 12 on this side. The negative 12's cancel, and x is equal to 15 minus 12 is 1. So our value for x is 1. Now I'm going to go back up to my box where y, this y, equals the box, and I'm going to recopy it and change x to be 1. So it's 3 plus 2 times 1, which is 3 plus 2, which is 5. And that again is equal to, run this all the way back over, is equal to y. Y is 5. So my answer is, parentheses, comma, x is first, that's 1. Y is second, that's 5. And I have my answer. Substitution. Next, we have one more substitution, number 12. I need a letter by itself that has a 1 in front. Which one is it? Well, the only one with a 1 in front is this y. So I need to take this negative 5y and move it to the other side. So I'm going to add 5y here, and I'm going to add 5y over here. The 5y's cancel, and it leaves me x on the left side is equal to 16 plus 5y. The x is by itself, and it is equal to 16 minus 5y. And that is 16 minus 5y is going to go in place of what letter? It's going to go in place of the x, because the x is the letter by itself. So this is going in place of the x, because that's what it's equal to. So now I'm rewriting the top equation. It is 4 times x, but x is a parenthesis. And then it's minus 5y is equal to 4. Exactly the same, but the y is gone with a parenthesis, and the parenthesis, the x, is what's in the box, 16 plus 5y. Distribute. 4 times 16 is 64. 4 times 5 is a positive 20y minus 5y equals 4. I'm going to take 20y minus 5y is 15y. I'm going to take the 64, this one, I'm going to subtract 64 because I need this to go to the other side, and it becomes a negative 64 over here. So 15y is equal to a negative 64 plus 4. Signs are different. I subtract the numbers, I get 60. I keep the sign of the bigger number, negative. Divide by 15. They cancel. And y is equal to a negative 4. Right? Now we know y is negative 4. We have to find x. So we come back up here, go to the box. The y is a negative 4. So this is 16 plus 5 times negative 4 is a negative 20. And 16 minus 20 is a negative 4. Signs are different. Subtract the numbers, keep the sign of the bigger number. And that negative 4 is equal to the x value. So my answer is, parentheses, comma, x is first, negative 4. Y is second, negative 4. And I have my answer, negative 4, negative 4. Problem number 13. Okay, we have this problem. Now this problem is an elimination problem. The next 6 problems are elimination. So on elimination, we are always looking for a letter that has the same numbers in front, but different signs. So when I look at this, I say, well, wait a minute. I have a negative 5y here, a positive 5y here. They have the same numbers, both 5, and they have different signs. Which means when I add them, they cancel. They're eliminated. They eliminate each other. So if I have the same numbers and different signs, I go draw a line, I simply add down. What's a negative 5x and a negative 4x? Here, I'm doing this one first. Negative 5 and negative 4 is negative 9x. Remember, when we add and subtract the numbers, we do not change the exponent. Then I have the 5y minus 5y, which all of it cancels, equals 20, and 16 is 36. Now I divide by negative 9 to get x. On both sides, I divide. The negative 9's cancel. X equals 36 divided by 9, Signs are different, so the answer is negative. 36 divided by 9 is 4. X is negative 4. Now I have to substitute back in. Pick one of them. Let's say I take the bottom one. It doesn't matter. Just pick whichever one you think might be easier. The bottom one is negative 4x plus 5y equals 16. X is negative 4. We found that out. So instead of the x, I'm going to put negative 4 right there. And I'm going to multiply negative 4 times negative 4. That is 16. Plus 5y equals 16. Now I'm going to take the 16, this one, here, move it to the other side. I'm going to subtract 16 to make it go away. Draw my line. These 16s cancel, but these 16s cancel. 16 minus 16 is 0. So I end up with 5y equals 0. Divide by 5. The 5's cancel. I have y on the left side, and 0 over any number is 0. So my answer is, again I go parentheses, the x value is negative 4. That's first. The y value is second. That is 0. And there is my answer. Doing elimination. Number 14. Again, it's elimination. And again, do we have two numbers that have the same sign, the same numbers in different signs? Yes. It's right here. I have an 8 and a negative 8. And an 8 and a negative 8 cancel out. So all I'm going to do is draw a line, change my sign. Let's draw a line and add. The 8x's cancel. 4y minus 3y, here, 4y take away 3, y is 1y, and 12, here, 12 take away 15 is a negative 3. I know my y value. Now I'm going to go ahead and put them in the top one. Why did I pick the top one? Because they're all positives. I like positive numbers. So I have 8x plus 4y equals 12 on top. You can use the bottom. It does not matter. They both work. Alright, y is negative 3, so above the y I'm going to put negative 3, and I'm going to work it out. 8x, breaking it down, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, equals 12. I need to get x by itself. I have to get rid of the 12 first, so I add 12 to both sides. I add down, 8x and nothing is 8x, 12 and 12 is 24, divide by 8. X equals 3. So what's my answer? X value is 3. My y value is negative 3. So I have my answer right here. Number 15. Again, we're doing elimination. Again, we're looking for same numbers but different signs. Do I have the same numbers? Yes, I have the same numbers here with the 6y. Do I have different signs? No. So I need to make the signs different. Now, what we do is we change all the signs. We change all the signs on the top row, or we change all the signs on the bottom row. Not both. Pick the top or the bottom and change all the signs. Whichever way you want to do it doesn't matter. I'd probably change the bottom. So I'm going to change all the ones on the bottom. I'm going to take this negative and make it a positive. I'm going to take this positive and make it a negative. This one is positive, so I'm going to make it a negative. It doesn't show positive, but it is, and I make it a negative. Now I'm going to cross out the circle signs because they're gone, and I'm now using the ones on top. Now I have 6 of the same, and they have one's a plus, one's a minus. That's what I want. Same number, different sign when I do elimination. So what do I have? I have 3x here. I have 3x plus 2x is 5x. Here, again, the y's cancel. 6y minus 6y is 0. And over here I have 3 minus 8, which is a negative 5. Now I divide by the 5, the number in front of x. The 5's cancel there, and x is equal to, the negatives cancel, and 5 over 5 is 1. I'm sorry. We are dividing, this is a positive 5, this is a positive 5. So I divide, this is a positive, so I have a negative sign. This is a negative 5 over a positive 5. So the sign, the 5 over 5 is 1, but it's a negative because the signs are different. X is a negative 1. And now I'm going to plug it back in. Let's go ahead and do it with the top one. X is negative 1, so I have 3 times x, which is negative 1, plus 6y is equal to 3. 3 times a negative 1 is negative 3 plus 6y equals 3. I add 3 to both sides. The 3's cancel. 6y equals 6. Divide by 6 the number in front of y, and y equals 1. Oops. All right, look at that. So what's my actual numbers? First is x. X is negative 1. Y is positive 1. So our answer should look like this. Negative 1, positive 1. Number 15. Number 16. Again, I'm looking for, and I'm doing elimination, I'm looking for same number, different signs. I have the same numbers here. They both 9, but I have the same sign, so I need to change one of them. Which one should I change? I change the top or the bottom, whichever I want. What I usually do is I like to keep the x's positive. So I'm going to change the top because it'll be smaller. When I take 10 minus 5, I'll get a positive 5. So I'm going to change the top row. This is a positive, which I'm going to change to a negative. This is a positive, I have to change it to a negative. The 24 is a positive, I have to change it to a negative. They all become negatives. I don't want the ones that are circled, they're gone. So I'm going to mark them off, don't get confused. And now I'm going to add down. On this row, it is 10 on the bottom, a positive 10, minus 5 is 5x. And the middle one, again, this one is 9 minus 9 is 0. They cancel. Equals a negative 24 and a negative 6. They're both negatives here and here. So I add the numbers. 24 and 6 is 30. I add the numbers, and I keep the sign of the bigger number, which is negative. Now I need to get x by itself, so I divide by 5. They cancel. And x equals a negative over positive is a negative, and 30 divided by 5 is 6. So we get that x is a negative 6. Now we need to go, this is a negative 6 here. All right, and then we need to find y, so we pick one of them. I choose the second one because I can't read the first one very well. Again, it doesn't matter. The second one is easier to read. So I'm going to take 10x, I haven't changed any of those signs, plus 9y equals negative 6, I think is the way it reads. Double check. Yes. X is a negative 6, so I'll put negative 6 here for x, and multiply. 10 times negative 6 is negative 60, plus 9y equals negative 6. I am going to take the 60 here and move it to the other side. I need to get y by itself, so I add 60 to both sides. They cancel. That leaves me 9y equals 60 minus 6, this one. And 60 minus 6 is 54. Now I divide by the number in front of y, in front of the letter, that's 9. The 9's cancel, and y equals 54 divided by 9, which is 6. Leaving me an answer of x is negative 6, y is equal to positive 6, and I have negative 6 for my answer. That's problem number 16. Problem number 17. Another elimination problem. But this time, again, I need same number, different signs, and I don't have the same numbers this time. So I have to multiply. Do I have numbers that are different? No, all the numbers are the same. So I need to figure out what I want to do. What I do is this. What's the common denominator between 9 and 15? Well, that's 45. What's the common denominator between 9 and 2 for the y's? That's 18. Would you rather work with 18 as your common denominator, or would you rather work with 45? I choose 18. It's smaller. I'm going to work with 18. So I'm not going to use the 45. So what I do is I look at the 9, this 9 right here in front of the y, say this 9 times what gives me 18? What do I multiply this 9 by to get the 18? I multiply by 2. The 2 in front times the 2 here times the 9 will give me the 18. That's what I want. On the bottom, what do I multiply this 2 by to get 18? I have to multiply it by 9. So I multiply the top row by 2 and the bottom row by 9. So do the multiplication. 2 times all of these. 2 times 9 is a negative 18x. And then 2 times this 9 is a negative 18y. Equals, and 2 times a negative 27 is a negative, and 2 times 27 is 54. I multiply the whole top row by 2. On the bottom, I multiply everything by 9. It's 9 times negative 5. That's a negative 45x. Then I take 9 times negative 2. That's a negative 18y. Equals, and then 9 times a negative 9 is a negative 81. Now I have the 18s are the same. These, but the signs are not different. The signs are the same, and they're going to be different. So I need to change one of them. Should I change the top or the bottom? Well, it doesn't matter, but it's easier in this case to do the bottom because they're all negatives. And I like positive, so I make the biggest ones positive. 45 is bigger than 18. 81 is bigger than 54. I'll change the signs on the bottom, making them positive. So I'm going to take the 45, negative, and make it a positive. Negative is gone. I'm going to take this negative, make it a positive. It's gone. I'm going to take the negative in front of the 81 and make it a positive, and that negative is gone. Now I can draw my line and add down. First, what is 45x minus 18x? Well, 45 minus 18 is 27. 27x. And then the 18y and 18y, I'm subtracting, the signs are different, so they cancel. And 27x equals 81 minus 54. And that is going to be 27. Now I divide by 27, and x equals 1. Once I know x is 1, I pick one of the equations at the start here. I'm going to take the second one because the numbers are smaller. So I'm going to go negative 5x, but instead of negative 5x minus 2y minus 9. But x is 1, so instead of x, I'm going to put 1. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5 minus 2y. That's equals a negative 9. And then I'm going to get rid of the 5. I need to get the 2y by itself, so I add 5 to send it to the other side. So I have a negative 2y equals a negative 9 and negative 5. The signs are the same. I add the numbers, keep the sign. When I add the numbers, I get 14. I keep the sign that's negative. Divide by negative 2. The negatives cancel, the 2's cancel, and the negatives cancel there. And I end up with y equals 7. What did I do? Hold on. All right. This is a positive 5, so this is positive 5. Which, I don't know if this is an eraser or not. I'm having trouble with my eraser here. This is a positive 5, so negative 9, positive 5 is a negative 4, divided by a negative 2 is the negatives cancel, and I divide, and I get 2, not 7. So y is 2. This 14 is not good. Okay, so what do I have? X is 1, and y is 2. And I have my answer. That's number 17. One more elimination problem. 18. I want the same number, different signs. Well, I don't have the same numbers. Now I have different signs with the y's. So I can do those, or I can do the 3 and 2, whichever way you want to do it. If I use the different signs here, then I need 7 and 4. What's the common denominator between 7 and 4? Well, that's 28. So, 7 times what gives me 28? 4. I need to put the 4 out here. And then the 4 times what gives me 28? I need 7. So I take 4 times 7 is 28, and 7 here times this 4 is 28. So I go ahead and multiply 4 times the whole top row. 4 times 3, negative 12x. 4 times 7 is a negative 28y. And 4 times 30 is 120. On the bottom, it's 7 times the bottom, so 7 times negative 2 is negative 14x. 7 times 4 is a positive 28y. And 7 times negative 6 is a negative 42. Draw my line. And on the y's, the numbers are the same, and the letters and the signs are different. So they cancel. If they cancel, I can add. When I add this one, what's a negative 12 and a negative 14? Negative 26x. Y's are gone. Equals 120 minus 42 is 78. And now I divide by the negative 26. Remember, when I divide, these signs have to be the same, and they're going to cancel. On this one, I have to divide by a negative 26. And when I do that, I get x equals, positive and negative is a negative. 26 goes into 78 3 times. So I get negative 3 for x. And now I need to find y. Take one of the equations, whichever one you want. Let's take the second one. The second one is negative 2x plus 4y equals negative 6. But x is a negative 3. So negative 2 times negative 3 is 6 plus 4y equals negative 6. I need to move the 6 over to the other side. I subtract 6 from both sides. The 6's cancel. I have 4y equals negative 12. Signs are the same. I add the numbers and keep the sign. Divide by 4. And y equals negative 3. So my answer is, parentheses, comma, x is negative 3. Y is negative 3. And there's my answer. That's through 18. Now we're going to go to factoring in a minute.